Okay, it's 6:08 and the Conservation Commission meeting will come to order. The first order of business is the approval of the minutes from the October meeting. I have nothing to add.
I also had nothing.
Mr. Breyer, Mr. Rosberry Yoder, have you had a chance to look?
Nothing here.
Do we have a motion?
Move to accept as written.
Second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second to accept as written. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? No, none opposed. The minutes are accepted. Next order of business is public comment. We have no one here from the public, which brings us to conditional use permit requests, and there are none. New business. Any new business to come before the commission?
I don't know if it's new business, but I've been sort of revisiting or thinking about the pollinator discussions we had last year about developing a new, I guess for lack of a better, a pollinator ordinance or modifying city ordinances to allow for flexibility with with managing yards for pollinator habitat. And so I was thinking about starting to draft something up if that was okay with everybody.
I welcome it, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Anybody else? Yeah, and to elaborate on that a little bit, the current code is sort of a boilerplate that a lot of communities use, and it stipulates that the grass has to be 5 inches or lower, and there can only be certain plantings. There are flowers, well, like greenhouse flowers and whatever shrubs. It's very limited.
Yeah, when I started looking through it last year, and you're right, it was very, the cities is very generic. I mean, it's from a kind of a generic manual, I think, that cities, like a template that cities use. I started looking at, what some other towns had done, in other states and in New Hampshire, and there's a lot of different approaches. So I started pulling things together, but then got sidetracked with Malley Farm and some other things. So I'll take a crack at it and then maybe send it out to everybody for comments, and we can just, I'll send it out to everybody when I get something done, and we can discuss it at a meeting, put it on the agenda.
So I have a quick question about that, which your comments brought to mind. I haven't looked at the ordinance, so I don't know it. But I know that in recent years, there's been discussion in various parts of the country about people who don't want a traditional yard and want to consider, for example, having a garden in their front yard. I know in some parts of the country, this is not permitted for aesthetic reasons. So I don't know if that's something you can throw in the mix and at least consider. And I don't know how our current ordinance bears on that. I'll look it up. But I would suggest that while you're at it, might as well include that part of it and address it in some way with suggestions or alternatives.
So yeah, thank you. I'll look into it. I think that the general sense from what the city has now is that as long as the space is managed, it may be all right. So if you had a garden plot out front and it was clearly a garden, then that would be okay. I'm not 100% sure on that, but it was never spelled out that something like that couldn't be there. But either way, I'll look into it, and if we want to weave it in, we can do that too. But I mean, it does get really dicey, right? Because there's a difference in managing for wildlife and pollinators and just letting your yard go, which
Sure.
can cause some problems, especially with invasive species.
And
So-
and with, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. and with a garden, there is the possibility that this could create a situation where there could be a vermin question.
Yep.
And that is a matter of management. So, yeah, I think that's something that would need to be a stipulation that if gardens are permitted like that, that they have to be managed in such a way that they don't create the kind of problems that a vacant lot with associated vermin and other pests would perhaps bring to the neighborhood. Sure.
Currently, code enforcement requests that if you are managing for pollinators, that you let him know. And he's said that he can be lenient, if you're truly managing it that way.
Yeah, I think, some cities have had people register their gardens. There's different approaches to it.
Well, the city has a project under the National Wildlife Federation for backyard habitat. And I'd love for that to expand.
I mean, so if we could link that together somehow, that would be ideal, yeah. Okay, all right, cool.
Just a quick follow-up question. What is the current posture on beekeeping within the city limits?
Beekeeping is regulated by zoning under apiculture. It's allowed in certain areas, and there's an annual permit.
Okay.
I can send you the excerpt from the ordinance if you want tomorrow. It's
I
in
can
the
look it up.
zoning ordinance. It's under accessory uses.
Yep, I can look it up.
Any other comments on that?
Just a question. A lot of folks seem to be going to what's, I guess is called now xeriscaping. I don't know if that falls under what you're talking about, or it's not necessarily a garden, vegetable garden, flower garden per se. It's more of like a trees, bushes, rocks, stones. I don't know if that would fall into that or not.
I don't think so. I mean, when I hear of that term, I think of just, minimal veg.
Right.
And so, that would probably be in alignment with the current rules, really.
Okay.
So, yeah, it would be outside of making the yard more wild, actually.
Okay.
Is there any other new business?
I passed out to you all. As I've mentioned before, we're working on multiple master plan chapter updates. We currently have, so the large general survey that we had ongoing has closed. We have now opened a survey that's specific to the historic district. So these were shared with directly to all properties in the historic district, but we're also looking for other people within the city for feedback on the historic district to get in some more feedback. So if you can share those, take that survey, greatly appreciate it.
And is there a link to SurveyMonkey on the Somersworth page?
Not yet, but we're working on that.
Okay.
And you'll likely see an email from Anna to all land use board members for sharing that link as well. We need to get it from regional planning who assists us with this.
Okay. All right. Is there any correspondence regarding old business?
I just have a reminder
Yes.
that builds off of that. Tomorrow, in November 13th at 5 o'clock, we have our public forum at the Somersworth High School. It is from 5 to 7. We'll be talking about the master plan chapters that we're updating. So we hope to see you all in attendance, bringing friends, family, neighbors. Spread the word. We need the feedback.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
on my agenda, under new business, unless it's changed, there was a review and approval of membership dues for New Hampshire Association of
Yeah.
Conservation Commission.
I think I forgot to bring the invoice. I don't know that I have it electronically. It's not due right
Might
now.
have, there might have been an update and my copy is wrong, but
No, your copy's correct. I think
remember
I
reading
forgot
that
to
and-
grab it. Conservation. It's an annual fee that the board has paid historically. And I did forget to bring that with me, so we can address that next month. I don't believe it's due until April or so, technically.
Thinking back on previous years, it was $700 or so in past years. Dana, would it make your life easier if we just appropriated up to 1,000 to fit this?
I can look it up too about what you guys paid last year, or I can just run downstairs and see if I can find it on Anna's desk. If you guys want to continue on with conversation,
I'm sure.
I'll go grab it.
Thank you, Art. I don't know how that didn't make it in my copy and paste. Oh, it did. It's very faint font. All right. So, old business easement monitoring, I still have to contact a contractor and see what we have at our disposal. Any correspondence regarding old business, we touched on that. Member items, subcommittee items and reports. Wildlife management plan for Lily Pond parcel. There's a walk with New Hampshire DES this Friday. I had originally said that I could make that. I can't due to work commitments.
You want to reschedule it, or do you want to,
Can you make it?
I can make it.
Can you make it? No.
I don't think, I mean, I think I'm gonna be back at work Friday probably.
Right.
Yeah, so.
Okay.
If you can make it, Art, I have a note here that, about what we discussed, that we plan to focus, in terms of the management plan, we plan to focus on invasives control for the parcel, and that you and Dale and I had talked about starting by selecting the two grids, a control grid
Right.
and a test grid within high-value wetland, where we evaluate the control of invasives at the end of a year and present that to council to see whether we can get some funding for the expansion of the effort. And that's, I think, really, I don't think we want to get too fancy with anything else in the plan. We considered a wildlife management plan, et cetera, but I think, we're not doing the basics with current easements, so I think we probably should keep it at a minimum.
So I also exchanged with you in one of those emails the comment about the neighbor with the water test.
Oh, right,
Shall I include that in the discussion?
sure.
Okay.
Did you want to fill the,
Yes, one of my neighbors came to me and said that they had had water in the pond tested, not their well, but in the pond itself, and that it had come back with PFAs. They gave me a copy, and the test actually indicates, or to my knowledge, it looks to me like it indicates that they are, quote, within limits. But I had mentioned to Scott that perhaps we should take a look at that and include water testing on some interval or some kind of a baseline approach to the water quality in the pond itself as part of our overall plan for the Lily Pond parcel. It of course touches on the fact that it's a wellhead protection area and some other factors, and the people that I'll be meeting with on Friday, they have to do with drinking water, so I think they'd have the same kinds of concerns. If we don't already have such a baseline, then we probably should establish it. And the state, I think, probably already has a mechanism in place for that because it's their primary responsibility. But if we can cooperate and support and participate to whatever degree makes sense within our own plan, then I think it's worth including.
that's a good point, the state might have some data.
Yep.
For the pond, maybe
Yep.
not the stream.
Yep.
Who owns the pond?
The state.
State owns the pond?
To my understanding is that in New Hampshire, all wetlands, which includes water features and ponds, are held in trust by the state for the people of New Hampshire.
Wetlands are not. I can tell you that.
Well, on private property, but things like
Right.
real streams, waterways,
Yeah.
what in other
Surface
states, there's a whole different category of ownership for riparian rights. Apparently, that kind of riparian rights are not the same here in New Hampshire. So my understanding is that Lily Pond is owned by the state of New Hampshire, the pond itself.
Okay. Well, DES can clarify that too.
Yeah, I'll ask the question.
Okay. So, so that's the planned approach to try to show some success with a small area, you know, for
Right.
invasives, and then try to get some funding for it because it's going
And
to
I'll
be,
have a
even
report
for
on-
one parcel, it's going to be a,
I'll give a
large
report
effort.
on that meeting at our next meeting.
okay. And that brings us to invasives plan subcommittee report. Dale Smith Kenyon, who was not here, but you can just see the above conversation that we just had. Am I going too fast? Okay. All right, item 3, exploration of formal conservation of Malley Farm city parcel.
So no progress really. I think I touched on this last time. The federal appraisal report went to U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. They then requested more information to justify the price of the easement or whatever. That request, I'm not sure if that went before the government shut down or after. If it went before, then we might have something, you know, in just a couple weeks. If it didn't, we're gonna be, you know, like probably 2 months out, I would bet, with the holiday season and everything coming up. So we'll just wait and see. The Fish and Wildlife Service does not have any information back, I know that, so, but they weren't sure when it went out. Yeah, so that's it for that.
All right, thank you. Item 4, city tree GIS inventory project, Mr. Breyer.
Yes. Last week, we sent out a request for information on the data elements for the database. Got several responses. Kevin, I really appreciate your input on that. We put together, I think there's 21 data elements now. Got rid of a couple and sent them over to Elliot Boardman. And he said he's ready to go. He's already started working on it. Should see something within probably 4 or 5 weeks.
Did I miss an invite for a Zoom call?
I don't think so.
Okay,
I think you were on
I
there.
thought we talked about, oh, I was on that?
Yeah.
Okay, so I did miss it.
Well, I thought you meant, did you? Yeah, get it.
Did anyone else attend?
Yep.
How'd it go?
Good.
That's it.
There's not really much else to say. I mean, we came out of that with the plan to get Elliot the variables that we wanted to have in the form, and he seemed like, you know, that what we were asking wouldn't be too big of a challenge, and he was happy to work with us. And so what Doug just mentioned was that sort of follow-up. Doug pulled everything together, got the information to him, and now we just wait and see what he comes back with.
Very good.
Should be interesting.
Thank you.
We did get an invoice just for record keeping and tracking. They have invoiced us for the first one. I don't know if you just want to know that or just how much it was at this point that's been expended of the total contract.
Yes, please.
Okay. So this invoice was for $1,166.65. I could send you this. checking.
Yeah, because getting the.
You'll
this
get the-
comment after
Yeah, so it hasn't gotten paid yet out of the fund, so you won't have seen it come out of the fund yet. So next month we should see the debit, credit, debit.
Well, it's great to show some progress on that.
And I wrote to Councilman Cameron regarding the Rocky Hill Road extension.
If you can hold off on that for 1 second.
All right. Yep.
How are we progressing with the prep,
Project Builder?
direction? Yeah,
We rescheduled till next month. We haven't met again since prior to the last meeting. Just due to some other conflicts, we pushed it off. We'll meet in December to further talk about that. So if there's anything that does come up before then, or if anyone wants to be involved, let us know.
All right.
But we're meeting in December.
all right, thank you. Sorry, Mr. Breyer.
That's all right. Fortunately, I was the one that made that meeting get postponed. I ran into a conflict the last minute, so I apologize for that. Yes, I emailed Councilor Cameron regarding what we were looking to do at Rocky Hill Road as far as assembling either students, such as Interact students from the high school or the general public to help, lack of better words, just to drag the debris out of the conservation area and the roadside, drag that to the side of the road, and excuse me, and then have the city possibly pick it up and dispose of it. And I also contacted Mike Babinski to find out if we could do that, and he thought it was a great idea. I said that, maybe we can coordinate it with the possible paving of that section of road next year, sometime in the spring.
Mhm.
And I guess what he was saying is actually, I've got his email here. I guess the bids for road work in, I guess that section are going out next month or this month, I'm not sure which, but they probably won't be awarded till next spring and probably built, not probably, but it'll be built after that. So we're talking next year. But he doesn't have a problem if we organize something, say, in the March, April timeframe. He said he'll be glad to coordinate it, have a truck out with a driver, and go from there.
Excellent, thank you. The word drag catches my attention. Is,
No, it's going to be a drain.
is there anything heavy enough to disturb the soil?
Oh, yeah.
All right, so we need to be careful not to disturb the soil and wetlands.
Well, this portion is not wetland. It's
Are we
just-
sure?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Okay.
There's no water anywhere near where the majority of this is.
Okay,
The trouble is, a lot of this stuff has been sitting there so long it's buried, or, with leaves and debris and that kind of stuff. But
so are we thinking like drag with a bobcat?
no, I think, if we get some young, strong kids or whatever, we can probably get it out of there.
Someone like Kevin?
Yeah, something like But, there's a possibility. There are some things in there that you really can't see, but, there's couches, there's desks, tires, And actually, in one section, if you go back into the conservation area where Dale and I were walking, there's like car seats, but that's quite a ways in. It's probably 100 yards off the edge of the road, but it is in the conservation land.
I ran a cleanup when I was in college, and there were abandoned cars and bathtubs and whatever. We filled 2 town dump trucks. And there was some hazardous waste in there too. So be careful if there's a bag,
Oh, yeah.
pick up.
Yep.
There was, we had trash bags full of asbestos.
Well, I've noticed somebody dropped off pallets, I mean, multiple pallets in there, and say construction materials and that kind of stuff, so.
Okay, thanks. Is there any other old business?
I missed monitoring reports. This is just my reminder that the Lily Pond monitoring reports due by the end of year, and they, I think I forwarded it to you, the email from the state. They have some updates to how they want it reported.
Is that not the thrust of the site walk on Friday?
No, that is not. So I don't know that that can be double served. That is them just reviewing parcels that they have that are part of the drinking water
Okay,
groundwater trust fund. So they go out to they like to review the sites periodically. And so it's not, I don't know if we can double up and utilize that as the monitoring report. We could try. Keep track of it that way. I can email Laura too to see if that's a possibility. We could utilize that time.
all right. Just in case, I'll send out an email after the meeting and see if anybody's available on the weekend. Hammer that out.
The last time that we were out there, there was, well, I can't remember, it was two, definitely one illegal or unregistered deer stand. So maybe wear blaze orange when you guys go back there, because there was a lot of activity.
That's a good call.
Yeah, I'd seen two on the initial walk. I don't know whether they were recent, but
Yeah, I mean, the one that we saw was the person wasn't in it, but it was in use for sure. So, what time is the walk at on Friday?
It's at 10:30, and we'll meet at the Oaks. I will coordinate further clarifications on that after I talk to the Oaks.
all right. Is there a treasurer's report?
There is. All right, let's see. Balance forward was $331,872.97. Interest received $1,180.52. We had no expenses. So our ending balance as of October 31st was $333,053.49.
Thank you. We passed the public comment period, but were you here for comment? Okay, all right.
I do have that invoice too if you want to take action on the New Hampshire Association of Conservation
good.
Commissions 2026 membership dues, which is $575.
Make a motion, we authorize disbursement of $575 for those dues.
Second.
Does everyone understand what the dues are for?
There's a memo that I'm happy to share too if anyone wants a copy of it.
Okay, so there's a motion and a second to approve the allocation of $575 from the Conservation Fund. Was that part of the motion? Okay. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The $575 is approved. And there is the annual meeting is coming up for that, by the way. I don't know if it's too late to register for it.
Things might be filled up. I think Anna emailed you all about it.
Yeah. All right.
The, just one last thing, we'd been talking about turtle signage, and I think Mike Babinski wanted examples or was gonna touch base with, look around at what other people were doing, and I noticed, it was either in Berwick or York, I wasn't exactly sure where the town line was, but they had the fold up, fold down signs, in one of their areas, and, those were really nice. That one week I went by and it was down, and then the next week it was up. So they were out shifting it. So it seems like a pretty solid option if we can get permission to do that.
A lot of plow damage.
What? No, it was safely. It looked safely outside of that, or at least where it would survive. But I don't know where we sort of left that, like if Dale was gonna provide him some information, if it was supposed to come from us or something, but,
Yeah, that's on me to bring it up with the city manager. Okay, any other items? Motion? Want to go home?
that,
Would you like to go home?
I motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second?
Yeah, there's a motion and a second to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned at 6:40.